Dear students, in today's class I am going to solve one more problem on the conversion of single entry system into double entry system of bookkeeping. Problem is already written here on the board. Just you go through the problem and try to understand it. After that we can prepare the necessary accounts. Okay, let us see what is given in the problem. Mr. Kiran keeps his books under single entry system. During the year ending 31st December 2020, his cash transactions were as under. Here, Mr. Kiran is the businessman. He is maintaining his books of accounts under single entry system of bookkeeping. Now, he is providing you the details of his business. Here, first one is he has given the receipts and payments account for the year ending 31st December 2020. These are his cash transactions. Here, cash receipts are given and cash payments. Just you see what is given here. Fresh capital is given rupees 30,000. It means here he has introduced rupees 30,000 into the business as additional capital. Where do you take this item? This item you have to take in the balance sheet, because in the balance sheet first we have to take opening capital, then to that we add net profit earned during the year. If any additional capital or fresh capital is given, that also added. Next one is private dividend invested rupees 400 is given. What is the meaning of private dividend here? Here the businessman has invested his amount, private amount, in outside the business, and after that he has earned a dividend of rupees 400, and this amount he has invested in his own business. Therefore, here whatever rupees 400 he has earned, that is his private income. But what he has done now, he has invested the same amount in his business. Because of that reason, even this rupees 400 should be treated as additional capital. Hence, this is to be added to the fresh capital. It comes to how much now? 30,400 is the additional capital invested by Mr. Kiran during the year 2020. Okay, next one is collection from debtors is given rupees 44,000. Means during the year 2020 he has received rupees 44,000 from his debtors. Where do you show this one? In the sundry debtors account, because in this problem we have to prepare sundry debtors account also. Therefore, in that account we have to show this one rupees 44,000. Cash sales is given. Here this is the item which is to be shown in the trading account, rupees 2,400. Next one is on the payment side, you see, paid to creditors rupees 56,400 during the year. Mr. Kiran has paid rupees 56,400 to his creditors. Where do you show this one? This amount we have to show in sundry creditors account. Okay. Next one is wages given rupees 3,000. He has paid rupees 3,000 as wages. This is a direct expense, hence it is to be shown in the trading account. Next one is salaries 1,600 and rent rupees 2,400. These are the indirect expenses. Hence, we have to show this one in the profit and loss account. These are the expenses. Hence, these items are to be shown on the debit side of profit and loss account. Next, you see here domestic expenses are given. Next, drawings also given. Here, drawings in the sense the amount which is used by the businessman, or it may be in the form of cash or it may be in kind. But whatever is used for his personal purpose, that should be treated as drawings. But here in this problem, what they have given, for domestic expenses rupees 600 is given. Again, drawings rupees 6,000. Here meaning is same. Here total drawings made by Mr. Kiran is rupees how much? 6,600. Total we have to take here. 600 also for the domestic use, and drawings in the sense that is also the amount which is used for his private use. That is why rupees 6,600, the total amount should be treated as drawings. Where do you show this amount? This amount we have to take to the balance sheet. In the balance sheet, we deduct this amount from the capital. Fine. Next, these are the assets and liabilities of the businessman. Here, opening values of assets and liabilities and closing values of assets and liabilities are given. Just you see the problem. In the problem, nowhere it is mentioned the opening capital. Opening capital is not shown here or not given in the problem. It means here these opening balances of assets and liabilities are given in the problem in order to find out opening capital. That is why here what we have to do, we have to prepare statement of affairs, that is opening statement of affairs, and find out opening capital of the business. What are the assets and liabilities? Just you go through debtors given, opening balance and closing balance. Here what it indicates, if opening balance of debtors and closing balance of debtors both are given in the problem, means here credit sales is not given. You check the problem, in the problem credit sales is nowhere mentioned. Therefore, here by preparing sundry debtors account, we are going to find out the missing figure, that is credit sales. By reading the problem, you should come to know what are the missing items. That is why that is very important. Before going to solve the problem, first try to understand what is given and what is not given. Next one is creditors. 5,416 is the opening balance and 6,000 is the closing balance. Here also we have opening and closing balances of creditors given. That is why here, which is the missing figure? Here credit purchases are not given in the problem. Just to check it, credit purchases are not given. That is why we have to find out credit purchases by preparing creditors account. Next, stock is given, opening stock and closing stock, land and buildings given, furniture, cash at bank, cash in hand, and also adjustments are given. See here, depreciate land and building by 10% and furniture by 20%. Okay, fine. Now we have to calculate, we have to apply this percentage on the closing value of land and buildings and closing value of furniture, and calculate the depreciation and show the same amount in profit and loss account. Next, provide for doubtful debts at 10% on debtors. Here 10% on debtors, the provision is to be created. Therefore 10% of what? 10% of the closing value of debtors. That you have to remember. Here debtors amount opening value is also given and closing value is also given. Closing balance is required to be taken here for calculating the provision for doubtful debts. Therefore, here 10% of 4,000 is to be calculated and charged to the profit and loss account. With these details, you are asked to prepare trading and profit and loss account for the year ending 31st December 2020 and also the balance sheet on that date. Okay, fine. Dear students, now how to begin this problem? First, we have to find out missing figures. Opening capital is not given. First, we will prepare statement of affairs, that is opening statement of affairs. After that, we will prepare sundry debtors account and sundry creditors account. Then we can go to the final accounts, that is trading and profit and loss account and the balance sheet. Okay, let us prepare first opening statement of affairs. Statement of affairs as on 1/1/2020. Here liabilities are shown on the credit side and assets are shown on the asset side. Okay, liabilities we show on the left hand side, right? Liabilities. Next one is assets. In my previous videos, I explained the meaning of a statement of affairs and also the difference between statement of affairs and the balance sheet. Just to go through such videos, amount in rupees. Okay, now just to go through the assets and liabilities given here. Debtors is given 2,800. Only opening values are to be taken here because we are preparing opening statement of affairs. Okay, on the asset side, I take debtors. What is the amount? Rupees 2,800. Next one is creditors is a liability. Hence, I am going to show it on the liability side. Creditors, what is the amount? Only opening value. I have to take 5,460. After that, stock we have to show. Very simple thing. Stock opening value is 4,000. Land and buildings 8,000. Land and buildings rupees 8,000. What else? Furniture is given. Furniture rupees 2,000. Just like fill in the blanks. If you know where to show the assets and liabilities and how to prepare this one, then easily you can put the figures here. Next one is furniture is over. Cash in hand. See, this is the asset we show on the asset side. Cash in hand. What is the amount? Rupees 60 is given. Next, cash at bank 1,600. Cash at bank 1,600. See, nothing else. Now we have to close this one and find out the missing figure. Make the total of this one 0, 6, 0, 6 plus 8, 14. 1 remains. 2, 4, 12, 16, 18. 18,460 is on the asset side. Here you write 18,460. Here you see 5,460 is there. Differencing figure is 13,000 we are going to get. This is nothing but what? Balancing figure. This I write as opening capital. What is this? Balancing figure. Actually, this was not given. By preparing opening statement of affairs, we found out what? Opening capital. First part is completed. After that, we will prepare sundry debtors account, sundry debtors account or total debtors account, or simply you can also write debtors account, no problem. In debtors account, first we show opening balance of debtors given in the problem, to balance brought down. Opening balance is given, see, opening debtors 2,800. Just now we took in the opening statement of affairs. 2,800 is to be shown first. 2,800. On the debit side of a debtors account, what is the next important what you call the item? That is the credit sales. Credit sales. But credit sales is not given in the problem. This figure we are going to find out. Then after that, on the credit side, you see whatever the cash is collected from the debtors, that comes here on the credit side. If bills are issued, that also we have to show. If discount allowed is given, that should also be taken. Here in this problem, bills receivables are not given, bad debt is not given, discount information is also not given. See, very simple problem is there. Here collection from debtors is given rupees 44,000. You see on the receipt side of cash book, here 44,000 is given. What is this? This is the total amount collected from the debtors. Cash is received. This one, whenever cash is received from the debtors, journal entry is cash account is to be debited and debtors account should be credited. That is why here I write by cash. What is this? Cash received from debtors. Cash received from debtors. What is the amount? Rupees 44,000. 44,000. Next one is closing balance of debtors is also given rupees 4,000. What is the meaning of this? During this year, still rupees 4,000 is the balance which is to be collected from the debtors. By balance carried on. Rupees how much? 4,000. Now you see opening balance is 2,800 and here on the credit side total is 48,000. 48,000. 48,000. Now whatever differencing figure comes, that is nothing but what? Credit sales. This is the balancing figure. We prepared sundry debtors account in order to find out credit sales. Okay, what is the balancing figure here? Just you see, 45,200 is the balancing figure. What is this? This is the credit sales. In the similar way, we will prepare sundry creditors account. Sundry creditors account. Okay, here creditors account show credit balance. That is why first you check whether opening balance is given or not. By balance brought down. By balance brought down. Creditors opening balance. How much? 5,460. 5,460 is the amount. Next important point which we write on the credit side of creditors account is credit purchases, right? Credit purchases. Actually, 5,460 is the amount which was not paid in the last year to the creditors. That is why balancing figure I have taken here, opening balance in the creditors account. And during the year, whatever credit purchases are made, that we write here. But here credit purchases here not given in the problem. That is why we are going to find out this one. This is the missing figure here. This is called balancing figure. Next one is, you see, cash paid to creditors is given. During the year 56,400 cash is given to the creditors. When cash is given, creditors are going to receive the amount and cash goes out from the business. Therefore, creditors account is to be debited and cash account is to be credited. Here cash paid to whom? Cash paid to creditors. What is the amount? Total amount is 56,400. 56,400 is the total amount paid to creditors. Next one is creditors account is showing the closing balance of rupees 6,000. Opening balance we have written here. Here I am going to write closing balance. To balance carried on rupees 6,000. What is this? This is the amount which is to be paid. This is the amount which is not yet paid to the creditors. This amount may be paid in the next year. That is why in this year, the total amount, the full amount was not paid to the creditors. That is why whatever the closing balance is there, that we write here on the credit side. Now, we close the account. Here total is how much? 62,400. Here also you write 62,400. Now whatever the balancing figure comes, that is nothing but credit purchases. Why we are preparing this account? In order to find out credit purchases. Okay, fine. Just find out 6 plus 4, 10, 1 remains 5, 1, 6, 10, 1 remains 5 means here 9 comes. Next one is 9, 14, 6. Again 6 we take here. Next one is 12, 1 remains 556. What is this? Now you see, after closing the account, we got 56,940 as credit purchases. This one I am going to write here. What we found out first, opening capital. Opening capital rupees how much? 13,000. Next one is here credit sales. Credit sales 45,200. Next one is credit purchases. Credit purchases. What is the amount? 56,940 rupees. 56,940 rupees. Okay, after this, we will prepare trading and profit and loss account. Very simple thing. I hope you are following this one. We will prepare trading and profit and loss account. Trading and profit and loss account for the year ending 31st December 2020. Okay. First we will prepare trading account. First part of this account is the trading account. Then next part is profit and loss account. Okay, in the trading account, first what we take? We take first opening stock if given. To opening stock. It is given in the problem, just you check here. On 1/1/2020, value of stock rupees 4,000. That we write here. Opening stock 4,000. Next one is two purchases. What is the next item to be shown here? Purchases. This purchase, credit purchases or cash purchases. If both are given, you have to take here. Purchases are not given. Next one is credit purchases. Just we prepared the account. What is sundry creditors account and found out 56,940. 56,940 the credit purchases. Now you write here 56,940 purchases. Or after this, the next one is direct expenses. Carriage inwards, wages, whatever is given, that you have to show here. Here in this problem, wages are given. What is the amount of wages? Payment side you see rupees 3,000. Rupees 3,000. Next one is on the credit side, we take sales. That sales may be credit sales or cash sales. Here you see cash sales is given in the problem 2,400. That is why here cash sales 2,400. Next one is credit sales. We found out by preparing debtors account 45,200. 45,200. Total we show to the outer column 47,600 rupees. Very simple thing. Next one is we show closing stock. Closing value of the stock is given 24,000, that we show here. Closing stock 24,000. Nothing else. We close the account. We close the account. Balance it. Here it comes to how much? 611. One remains. 71,600. Total comes to 71,600. This side total is 56, 60, 63,000, 63,940. Just you subtract it. 7,660 we are going to get here. 7,660. What is this? Here credit side is heavier than the debit side. That is why difference in figure is the gross profit. Gross profit. Gross profit carried on. Right, 71,600. Now we'll prepare profit and loss account. Profit and loss. Next part is profit and loss account. How do we prepare profit and loss account? It begins with the result of trading account. What is the result of trading account? Gross profit. If gross is there, that we take on the debit side. Gross profit brought down. How much? 7,660. And whatever indirect expenses are there, see, salary is given, rent is given, depreciation is there, that we will debit here. Two salaries. What is the amount of salaries? 1,600. Rent paid to rent. What is the amount? Rupees 2,400. What else? See, here domestic expenses are not to be taken here, because these are the expenses which are pertaining to his individual, what you call the, these are the expenses which are pertaining to the private life. That is why it is not applicable to the business. Hence, this amount is not supposed to be taken here. I told you this is to be included in drawings. Total amount of 6,600 is to be taken as drawings. Okay, fine. After this, depreciation is there, that will show. Depreciation on building. Depreciate land and building by 10%. 10% of what? Closing value of land and building. 8,000 is there. That is why 10% of what? 10% of 8,000. It comes to rupees 800. Next one is depreciation on furniture. What is the depreciation? 20% of furniture, 2,000. Closing value is 2,000. Therefore, 20% of rupees 2,000 comes to rupees how much? 400 rupees it comes. What else? Provide for doubtful debts, 10% on debtors. I told you this is to be debited. Provision for doubtful debts. How much? At 10% of what? Closing debtors. What is the amount of closing debtors? 4,000 is there. That is why 10% of 4,000 comes to rupees how much? Again, here 400 we get. 400. What else? Nothing. Now we have to close the account. Now find out the balancing figure. Here 7,660 is there. This side you check 3, 4, 4, 5,200, 5,600 it comes. 5,600, 7,660 plus, minus 3, 3, 4, 4, 5,200, 5,600. Okay. Now 6,002. 2,060 is the resulting figure here. 2,060. What is this 2,060? This is the net profit. Therefore, I write here to net profit carried on. To net profit carried on, and write to be 7,660 here. Now this amount we are taking to the balance sheet. Therefore, here I am going to write net profit 2,060. Okay, these are the figures we need while preparing the balance sheet. I hope you understood this one. Now we will prepare the last part of this problem, that is the balance sheet. Balance sheet we will prepare. Balance sheet as on balance sheet as on 31st December 2020. Better you provide one inner column so that we can make the adjustments and later we can put the final amount to the outer column. Okay, you write liabilities amount in rupees. Here you write assets amount in rupees. Very simple thing. While preparing the balance sheet, we need opening capital, right? Opening capital already we calculated. We have ascertained it by preparing opening statement of affairs. How much? Rupees 13,013. That is why here I am writing first opening capital. Opening capital. What is the amount? Rupees 13,000. 13,000. To this, what we do? We add net profit earned during the year. 2060 is there, and also we add the what you call additional capital. Just you see, additional capital is also given. That is why here I write add fresh capital. Add fresh capital. This is the one, number one. How much? Rupees 30,000. I am going to add it here. I told you, whatever the private dividend, this is his private income, that amount he has invested in his business. Therefore, this should also be treated as additional capital. Hence, I am going to add this one also, private dividend. Private dividend. This is also called as additional capital, 400. Then next thing is we add net profit also. Third one is net profit earned during the year. These are the items which are to be added here. What is the amount? 2060. 2060. Make the total of all these things. 460, 325, 45,460. Then from this we deduct drawings during the year. What is the total amount of drawings? I told you drawings 6,000 plus whatever the expenses he incurred or whatever the amount he paid for meeting his private expenses, rupees 600. 6,600 is to be taken here. That is why here less drawings. Here I write 6,000 plus how much? 600. Total 6,600 we have to subtract. Okay, put the balancing figure 60. 14 minus 6, 8. 1 remains. 15 minus 7 means 8. 1. 38,860. This is the adjusted closing capital. After making all these adjustments, we are getting how much? 38,860. After this, we record the outside liabilities. Creditors given in the problem. Creditors we show. Creditors. In the balance sheet, we show only closing balances. You remember this one because we prepare the balance sheet as on 31st December 2020. That is why only closing balances are to be taken here. That is why total amount of creditors how much? 6,000. 6,000 right here. 6,000. No other liabilities are given. Next come to the asset side. On the asset side, first I show land and building. Land and building. Closing value, so much? Rupees 8,000. Closing value of land and building. From this, we have to deduct depreciation, less depreciation. Already we calculated it at the time of preparing trading and profit and loss account. 10% depreciation is there. That 10% comes to how much? 800. Then 7,200 show to the outer column. Next, you take furniture. Very simple thing. Furniture closing value is how much? 2000. Am I right? 2000. Next one is less depreciation. Less depreciation at 20%. It comes to rupees 400. Show the remaining balance 1600 to the outer column. Next you show debtors. Closing debtors to be taken here. Closing debtors 4000. 4000. From this we have to deduct less provision for doubtful debts. How much? At 10%. At 10%. Okay, 10%. 10% of 4000 comes to rupees 400. You show the amount to the outer column, rupees 3600. After this, you show other assets. Debtors is over. Stock is there. You show stock. Closing value of stock. This is the closing stock. Rupees 24,000. 24,000. Next one is cash at bank is given. Cash at bank. What is the amount? Cash at bank 6,800. Closing balance. Next one is cash in hand is given. You see, cash in hand rupees 1660. What else? Nothing is there. Now let us check the balance sheet. Okay, close this one. This side 44,860. Now here make the total of this one 8,800. Simply this one. Next one is 27,600. 27,600. Here you write 6,800 and 1,660. 0, 6, 8, 14, 20, 28. 2 remains. 8, 9, 9, 10, 16, 16, 24, 2. Okay, fine. 44,860 we are going to it here also. 44,860. Now you see, balance sheet is tallied 44,860 and 44,860. I hope you understood the concept. Dear students, here important thing is, first you need to understand what is given in the problem and try to understand what is not given in the problem and what are the important points or the figures or important items we need for the preparation of final accounts. Then once you decide that, easily you can prepare the final accounts. That is why here preparation of opening statement of affairs, sundry debtors account, creditors account, sometimes they may also give bills receivable account, bills payable accounts as well. That is why important aspect is, first try to understand what is given in the problem. Once you understand the problem, easily you can solve the problem without taking much time. And practice is very important. Time is very precious. Time management in the examination is very important. That is why you practice more, then only you can manage timing in the examination. I hope you understood the concept and you share this video even to your friends so that they can also get the benefit of this. Okay, thank you.